Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Thank you for being here, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Let me see who was here first. By the way, there are no prizes for being first, but you get major street cred. Laverne Lockhart, thank you so much. Thank you for being here first. Victoria Fabre. Kim Peaches starts off with a super chat. When I go to Windsor in May, that I will find a bakery and get a cake made with Happy Birthday Archie and share it with a few Britons that still love Sussex on May 6th wearing a dye mask. Oh my goodness, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool to pass those out like by the hundreds? I mean, just the whole like idea of the carriage going by and there's all those people wearing Diana masks. I would love that. Love, love, love that. Thank you so much, Kim Peaches, and thank you for the super chat. I got just one more thing I need to do because I want to be as messy as I can. Well, not too messy, but as I've been saying, um, the news is always so fluid and just got a little. I don't know how true this is, but I hope it is because I'm kind of messy. Um, but all I can say is not today, colonizer. Not today. Okay, I got that little messiness out the way. Gonna open up another screen so I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay, and with that, let me say hello to a few more people. Thank you so much, Kim Peaches. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. Happy Friday. My God, I can't believe it's Friday. Anyway, you know what, guys? Today is the last day of my maintenance issues, I hope. You guys have no idea how stressful this has been for me this week. Oh man. As you can see, I'm on a little bit earlier today, and I just double checked to make sure that I was free and clear. Hi, Elaine Parker, Brenda Phillips. And I think I'm good now. So if they knock on my door, I swear I'm gonna go Roger Rabbit. I am, but I think we're done. So it's not just me; it's the whole area. But as I'm, usually doing my Royal Sussex during the day, it has been particularly stressful because I can't seem to. Do you know how many times I have like I was about to eat, and as soon as I lift the fork to my mouth, knock knock, I'm like, oh my god, now what? I actually replied one day, like Charles responded to the entrance of Liz Truss. Oh, you again. Oh, Camilla, that dreadful woman. Oh, she came back. Camilla, Camilla. Oh man. So anyway, hello everybody. I'm going to say hello to everyone individually because I can see there's a lot of people that are already here, and I don't see no reason why we shouldn't just get started. So I just scrolled through. I hope I didn't miss any other super chats or super stickers. But if I have, I don't think I have. I think that was it. So thank you so much, Kim Peaches, and happy Friday again, everyone. All right, so I am good to go. Anyway, sorry you guys for the late and delayed streams this week, but hopefully next week I could at least bring the time back down to at least um, 1 p.m. Central Time. So that is my goal, and maybe even sooner. So we'll see how it goes. Hmm. Okay. Hey, Mo Shannon, Jael Bolander. Uh, Sheila Watson, hi. Edith Peterson. Okay. True Fidelia is here. Very cool. Well, Church Nelly, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry, the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here. Hey, Susie Q. Well, thanks a lot, Church Nelly. Thank you for being a super mod. And also, thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Still a bargain at just $4.99 until I change it. Probably sometimes next winter, I bet. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Hello, Mackenzie. Jamila. All right. So I'm going to reuse this thumbnail because it seems so appropriate, especially since we've heard what we've heard today. I'll tell you that in a minute. So this is what I was looking for. I knew I had this somewhere. I couldn't find it, but thank goodness a squatty actually had this and shared it, and so I was able to share it with you. With all of this talk about the Sussexes paying back the 2.4 million pounds, well, there it is. With Buckingham Palace largely empty due to the pandemic, picture gallery roof replacement works were brought forward and work started. The East Wing, what is that? Reserving? Is that the typo? Reserving? Well, anyway, continues. Okay, or whatever. Continues with work on two new lifts started. So for you Americans, those lifts are the elevators. They're putting new lifts in Buckingham Palace. Interesting. But anyway, let's get to the nitty gritty. The report includes 2.4 million pound payment for the Duke and Duchess, from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to reimburse the sovereign grant for expenditures incurred on the refurbishment of Frogmore Cottage, most of which was recognized as income in the year. Reflecting in the 2020-2021, the keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens, said the majority of the year was impacted by the precautions necessary as the impact of the pandemic set in. Plans had to change, and Her Majesty's program, supported by her family, had to react. The royal family embraced new technologies with a virtual meeting. Okay, so what I wanted to say was simply that, but it doesn't include the other part, and the other part is there was a shortfall in the income, the annual income that they received to the sovereign grant. In other words, the tourists that did not go to the various households, like for instance, the summer opens up for tourism at Buckingham Palace while the Queen is in Balmoral. I believe the Windsor Castle has been open, ever since 1992. People got mad because the Queen did not have insurance for Windsor Castle, and so the public had to pay to have it refurbished. And of course, after that, they're like, okay, we want to be able to take a tour. So that's one of the reasons why they had to open up the royal households. Well, they didn't have that money from tourism. And you know what's so weird though? I went to Windsor Castle, and honestly, aside from St. George Chapel, I can't remember anything that I've seen in that place. It did not make a huge impression on me. Um, the chapel did, but not the castle. I have no recollection of any parts of Windsor Castle except for the gift shop and the chapel. Well, anyway, Harry and Meghan's refunding, or that $2.4 million payment, helped them to meet their financial goals during the pandemic. So, with all of the talk the past couple of days, that's the one part that has been omitted by all of the so-called royal experts. They've made no mention of the fact that the Sussexes actually helped them to balance their books by paying back money that they didn't owe in the first place. Church Nelly says, Baron, you let me see. National anthem. I want a gin and juice played for me. Church Nelly, I would love to do that, but because of copyright, we're not able to do stuff like that. I mean, I would love to gin and juice you, but the French national anthem so far has not gotten me in trouble, as it is not a copyrighted song. But gin and juice, yeah, that would definitely be a problem. But I'm gonna find something for you, Church Nelly. You just give me a chance. I'm gonna find something appropriate for you. Nothing with any racy lyrics, but I'll find something. Just give me a chance. And by the way, Church Nelly, thank you again for the super chat, and thank you for being here as always. You guys, I tell you, Church Nelly was one of the earliest people to subscribe to Royal Sussex. And Church Nelly has been like so incredibly supportive, um, especially with the trolls and everything. So you deserve a theme song. All right. And let me see. Yes, yes, yes. I'm scrolling. Okay, Charles and Williams' actions will lead to people purchasing Harry's book to find out what the heck is going on. Once they read the book, they are going to hate the royal family. Silly move for the Windsors. Yeah, it's the pomposity of it. It's the caucasity of it. Um, they don't, and I said that yesterday. They don't believe that there's ever going to be a backlash. Charles has every reason to believe that whatever he's doing or whatever he's done is not going to affect him. Just like people were saying, well, the Met Police should have investigated him. Well, once the Queen died, that was the end of that. That was the end of that, because they weren't too keen on doing it. Wasn't that Cressida Dix was supposed to lead an investigation, and then she said there was no merit to investigate anything? Oh no, you know what? That was Andrew. That was Andrew. That's the case I'm thinking about. I think it was someone else's. Well, I think that may have applied to Charles too for the cash for honors, was it? Anyway, they certainly didn't do anything then, and they're not going to do anything now. You know, guys, I'm just sitting here fidgeting with my cube. It's like a paperweight, and I don't remember which squatty got this from the wish list, but I love this thing. It is beautiful. It's just I think I've shown you guys the photo of it. Didn't do it any justice, but I love this thing. It's made of acrylic, and it's got the primary colors, and I use it as a paperweight, and I just love it. It's brightens up my desk. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to everyone who has used the Royal Sussex wish list. No obligation to buy anything on there, but it definitely makes me feel oh man! So reports includes the 2.4 million pound payment from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. What was I looking at the red box? I forgot I put it on the other side here. Duh. Do you know I was literally sitting here squinting, looking at that red box, and I forgot that I had made it bigger. So, Vanzola, happy birthday! Who's Vanzola? Anyway, happy birthday, Vanzola. There's a Vanzola? I didn't know we had a Vanzola. Well, anyway, happy birthday, Vanzola, and thank you so much for being here. Uh, and happy Friday to you. Seriously, there's a Vanzola. Oh man, I had no idea. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here and being a member of Royal Sussex. Deidre Meinke, hello. Thank you for being here. Yes, I know those big words. They are so cumbersome. That's a big word, cumbersome. I mean, how often do we use that in a conversation? I think it would be rather cumbersome. Like, for instance, when you should call your side piece a consort instead of, calling her queen, but we're not supposed to call her queen consort because Charles said that would be too cumbersome. So now we have to just say side chick. What am I saying? Queen. That's it. We're supposed to say queen. So, and then pretty soon, remember, you guys, I said this. They're going to say, "Oh, the queen." Let's see. Vanzola, happy birthday. I'm from Colleton County, South Carolina. Therefore, I am celebrating my birthday and Alex Murdoch's lifetime murder conviction. It doesn't get any better than this. What a day to remember. Vanzola Adams, happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. Thank you so much for sharing your birthday with us here at Royal Sussex. And apropos apropos of your birthday, let me see if I can get this right. Uh ooh oh, there we go. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy here. Ivy out. Bye for now. Bye, Ivy. Okay, wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Hello, Ivy here. We're gonna do a little Ivy for your birthday. How about that? Okay, and as Lawrence Welk would say, and the one and the two. Okay, bye for now. Bye, Ivy. Okay, I got this. I got this. Here we go. Happy birthday, Vanzola. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Girl, the Duchess of Sussex won. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Nelly's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, I happy birthday, Vanzola. Many happy returns of the day. All right. Okay. So moving on, you guys. Well, actually, we're going to stay on this topic for a little bit longer. Let's see here. So Prince William backed King Charles' decision to evict Harry and Meghan. A friend of King Charles told the Daily Beast Charles is not making these decisions in isolation. He's throwing his son under the bus. Oh boy, I slipped there. I didn't mean to say that. Um, oh, thank you so much for the super sticker, anonymous person I don't want to say, but thank you very much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So, as I was saying, he doesn't make these decisions in isolation because Charles, lacking any real backbone, loves to drag other people into things so that he doesn't have to seem like the heavy. He is working in partnership with William. They are a unit closer than ever. They are a unit. Yeah, they are a unit, all right. That's code for saying they're acting like a couple of units. Anyway, um, some of y'all got that. The source, a friend of King Charles and Camilla and the wider family, told Daily Beast Charles is not making these decisions in isolation. He has the support of his son and heir and is working in partnership with him. They are a unit, unit, and are closer than ever. Of course, they are. Thick as thieves, as they say, two peas in a pod. The decision to evict Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage has also brought into sharper focus the uncertainty around their attendance at Charles's coronation, due to take place in just over 2 months, or as some of us in the squad would say, Prince Archie's birthday. Archie, the real king, his birthday, that's when it's supposed to take place. By the way, I love the graphics that they use for this. That looks amazing. And it's not a bad photo of the Sussexes, although, as you can see, they made them lower and then smaller, which is a bit irritating, as though they're shrinking away, which they certainly are not. They are totally empowered and unmoved by such negative, nasty behavior. But aside from that, very stylish. Cheers, cheers. Hey, Mo Shannon. Rohini, what's up, Rohini? Okay, you guys, don't even bother looking for it. Much to do about nothing. So, someone posted the clip from The View on Twitter. And as per usual, uh, it would be too much to ask for them to actually do some homework. And Anna Navarra, who has been a constant disappointment to me, she is just, she says, I'm the only one here at the table that's actually a stepmother. And these things can be very complicated and blah, 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 blah. And of course, Sunny Hostin usually teams up with the Sussexes. Hey, Dorothy Ross. But listen, you guys, I tell you, it is a lesson in futility to watch these panels of people. I don't care what show it is. There's always a good chance that you're going to come up short. You're going to come up disappointed. Unless you're a royalist, they're not really speaking to us. They're not really speaking to our values as people who love and respect the Sussexes. So, again, I wouldn't even bother, but I'm just going to give you the long and the short of it. There was no homework to be had. The agenda seemed just to gossip about something negative. Hey, Lydia Washington. So Joy Bearhurst says um, that the Frogmore Cottage is, what did she say? She said they call that a cottage. That's more than just a cottage, and whatever else she said. Well, someone in the Twitter said exactly what I was thinking. Frogmore Cottage is a 5-bedroom house that used to be servants' quarters, a nice house, but no mansion. And that is the point. And of course, I don't know that Joy Behar knows the difference. I don't know that she cares to know the difference. But how many times have I said in royal circles, a cottage is for servants or tenants on their estate? That's what a cottage is. A cottage is not really meant for a senior royal. It's just not. Which is why they gave it to Harry, because Harry always gets the short end of the stick. Harry doesn't get much consideration, at least he didn't before Meghan came along. But within that group, cottage is servants' quarters, period. It's grace and favor. A real royal residence is a palace or a house. Clarence House, Kensington Palace, um, what else? Royal Lodge. I mean, Royal Lodge. Well, even saying lodge is like a downgrade, but then you put royal in front of it, everybody knows it's a grand house. I mean, that's the point. These are pretty loft. Adelaide Cottage. Come on. Now, Adelaide Cottage, very sweet, very sweet. But still, it generally speaking, if you put, like for instance, Adelaide Cottage has an additional cottage for the work, the servants. Well, there are no additional servant quarters at the Frogmore Cottage because that is because that is the servants' quarters. How does what's his name, Dan Wooden say? You get me? You get me? Royals don't guest edit magazines. Celebrities guest edit magazines. You get me? So royals don't live in cottages. Servants live in cottages. You get me? So yeah. So of course, big waste of time, that show. And then right here, every time I watch The View, it's starting to remind me of Loose Women. It really is. Now, I'm just going to say, and I'm not just saying this as an American, I would love to believe that the View is in a higher league, is better than Loose Women, but to be honest with you, I really don't know, because I don't pay attention to the other topics that Loose Women talk about. And the only way that Loose Women get real numbers is talking about Harry and Meghan. So other than that, it really doesn't serve much purpose for me. And when they do speak of Harry and Meghan, it's always from the old white woman point of view. Nothing wrong with being an old white woman, of course, but the demographic old British white woman, you always think royalist. You always think Brexiteer. And of course, the R word, which I'm not going to put that on them because I don't know them, but they act like the R word. They act like the R word. But by and large, the anti-Meghan campaign, and trust me, there are more older white women that are supportive of Meghan than are hostile or even hate Meghan. But some of the worst racist tropes that you will see on social media, and this is according to the experts, when they do the demographics, even when they try to hide their backgrounds, but there are ways to circumvent that. But by and large, these are older white royalist women who, on this side of the Atlantic, would probably be a MAGA person. And that's just that. Those are, as a group, just like Black women, 95% of the time, they vote for the Democrat for the presidential election. Almost always. I mean, the most loyal group during the presidential election. No Democrat wins without Black women. And you won't find that hate and hostility behind those keyboards against Meghan without finding women that look just like them. And that's just a fact. But again, it doesn't mean that the majority of women that look like them have it in for Meghan and Harry. But it's very complicated. Being a royalist, being born in the United Kingdom, you've known the Queen your entire life. You've known of that family. You've been knowing Charles for 70 plus years. And I don't hate anyone, and I don't, I guess, hold it against them because of that belief that they have. But it is almost cult-like, if not a cult. It's a cult. So, what? Eamon Holmes' wife on the left in Ruth Langford? Really? Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know. Well, I knew he was married, but I couldn't picture what would marry him. Okay. Okay. George Blackie says, hope that Charles and old Willie are happy now with all that they are doing. So that is just to say that Harry and Meghan are not going to be at his coronation. I guess that was the point of it, is just to make sure that they don't come. And as time go by, it seems less likely that they would even bother. It seems more and more less likely like they're going to go. So unless something, and you know what, guys, how about this? How about this? Maybe this action by Charles is just to look tough. And then in the 11th hour, they'll reach some kind of a deal. How about that? I think that's a possibility. I think that in the 11th hour, even though I'm in agreement, it's a bad idea to go, if there's any indication of how things are going to go from the Queen's funeral, I'm pretty sure it won't be much better for the coronation. So, and okay, this is just evolving in my head, but how about this? What if Charles really wants them to come so that when eggs start flying, they can blame Harry and Meghan? Or the other protests that occur, like for instance, aren't they blaming Harry and Meghan for the detachment of much of the Commonwealth? They're blaming Harry and Meghan for that. The polls for the royals have been lowered. They're blaming Harry's book. So maybe they really do want the Sussexes to go so that they'll have someone to blame. Let me see. Pam Porter says the eviction is a bad look for Charles, not the strong, decisive move the royal rota will characterize it. They seem to have no concept of how bad these actions look across the pond and around the world. Well, Pam Porter, I hope you're right about that. I really do. I hope people do see it for what it is, because the if nothing else, the royal rota is very effective at pushing a narrative of gaslighting, the propaganda machine. They're very good at that. They blanketed the television after the Oprah interview and came up with this 17 discrepancies, or 17 lies, depending on who was talking. These are the things that Harry and Meghan got wrong. These are the things that they have no proof. These are the lies they told Oprah. And let's face it, it had an impact. It had an impact. And I think the Sussexes were blindsided by that, because if I recall, they thought the big thing was going to be that Meghan had those thoughts about things while she was there. But no, the big takeaway was Archie's skin color. And then from there, it was the all out attack. But let's not forget, though, that the attack started even before before the video played, because they weren't sure what the Sussexes were going to do. And so that's when they came up with, oh, I know, bully. Yes, the angry black woman bully, an American angry black woman bully. That's what they pulled out of their arses. Baron, sorry, but Charles looks petty and vindictive, not strong. Well, Acelia, I'm not saying that I think it's a good look. I'm just saying that is probably the hand that they're trying to play. I don't think he looks strong. I think he looks weak. And the fact that he has to bring someone else into it to make it seem convincing, that is desperation and weakness. So, yeah, I agree with you. Charles is a documented relative of Dracula. No wonder he doesn't have a conscience. Well, there you go. And JL says, at the French news, they say that Harry and Meghan have until the summer to move their stuff out. Is it true? I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine that there's no big rush. I think getting the headline out there, leaking, briefing the press was the big start. But I don't think it's going to be a matter of them having their stuff set out in the streets. They may not even want anything from the house. Everything that's important, I'm pretty sure it's in Montecito right now. And then we don't know how much of the stuff in the house belongs to Eugenie and the bartender. So um, there may be no urgency to remove anything from the house, or there may not be anything of value there. I mean, they're not going to take the bigger items back to Montecito, and there's a good chance that most of the important stuff is either gone, and the little secondary items may be packed up in boxes and ready to go. But they're not going to live there full time. That is just like a place to stay when they visit the UK. That's it. It's not a home as much as it is. It's almost like visiting a hotel or something like that. I mean, it was their home. It was supposed to be a gift, but sorry for the noise. I am looking for my chapstick. My lips have gotten dry, dry, dry. Oh, sorry. Got it. Got it. Okay. Many apologies. I got it. Okay. Ah, that feels good. Ah, 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 ah. May the wax penetrate. Ah, perfect. Okay, so thank you, Jael, and happy Friday to you. Uh, Alma Andrews, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. All right. And Anita Macbeth, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday. Okay. Nubian Queen is here. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. And you know what, guys? You know, I have been saying this for quite some time. You know, I cannot show this group of people, the Bang Sisters. You know, I cannot show the Bang Sisters without reminding you of where I've seen them before. I think it was my childhood. It was years and years ago. I used to watch a cartoon called The Flintstones. And at the time when there was the monsters and the Adams family, I Dream of Jeannie, and all. Anyway, in response to that, they decided to cast some neighbors called the Gruesomes. And so, with all those bangs, every time I see them, they remind me of the Gruesomes. So, there you go. Even with that rather bizarre greenish looking skin, talk about double gaggers. They always remind me of the Gruesomes. Being related to Count Dracula, that explains the ears and teeth. Okay. Okay, so there you have this right here. Dish Nation, look at this photo. Now, this is just the height of ignorance. King Charles evicts Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from home in England. And it looks like Harry is obstructing Charles so that he can't come after Meghan, or that she won't see anything that's dreadful or frightening or disturbing. Uh, and It's not all that serious. Well, Joanne Baker, she did marry a bartender. Isn't that what he does? Didn't they say he works for a alcoholic beverage company or something like that? He's a bartender. I mean, they gave him some fancy title, but it's just a glorified name for bartender. He distributes alcohol. Well, what does bartenders do? They distribute alcohol. So he's a bartender. But I like Jack Brooksbank. I think he's a very pleasant fellow. I like him a lot. And I tell you what, if I'm ever lucky enough to spend some time with Jack and Eugenie, I'm going to have him make me a whiskey sour. How about that? Just to show you where my heart is. Kim Peaches says, Baron, do you think Harry and Meghan would buy a spot close to London for seasons to visit as their children get older and learn from their father's homeland? Well, they are rich, they are making money, and when you have a lot of money, you want to invest it. Now, they may not. I mean, they could get a place anywhere in the UK, right? They lived in the Cotswolds for a short time when they rented that farmhouse conversion cottage thing out there in the Cotswolds. That was a really nice place, but they do have business there. They could easily just stay at a hotel. They may even stay with another relative. They have friends over there. There are people they can stay with, or they can rent, or even buy something. So I'm sure Harry has a lot of things that he wants his kids to know about their birthright. And of course, he's going to want to share his upbringing, his childhood, the better parts of it, with his children. I think that's only natural. It's a proud heritage, no matter how murky the old empire was, it's a proud heritage. And being English is something that a lot of people are proud of. I think you ought to be proud of your country. I don't care where you come from. You ought to have pride in where you come from. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't want change or that you don't want to move away or something like that. But the worst thing in the world is for anybody to be ashamed of their home or ashamed of their past. Your past, your life experiences is something that's unique to you. And if you want to share that with your children, even if they're going to try to make it as difficult as possible, I would hope that in the future, although we have no indication things will change, but I would hope in the future that they will leave the kids out of it. That's the very least they could do. But that family has a bad track record when it comes to children. If they're not exploitating the presence of the children, then they are, rather cold and standoffish, even with their own children. So let's just hope that all of that stuff, for the children's sake, can be left in the past. I'm hopeful, not totally optimistic, but hopeful that that is exactly what's going to happen. Because the kids should be left out of this, and if not, I can think of a few people that will be more than willing to call them out should they, you know, miss the mark when it comes to that. And of course, we'll call them out, right? We will call them out. And of course, one person I know for sure is going to take them to the woodshed is Dr. Shola. I mean, she called out, what was it, HBO when it came to the Cambridge kids. And I'm sure that she'll be there to call them out when it comes to the Sussex children. So, and just like the Queen held back a lot of things, I know William doesn't seem like a very progressive person, but it's up to God for people to have a change of heart. We can't instill those things, but I'm not so optimistic for Charles. But maybe when Charles' time come and goes, maybe there will be a shift, or maybe the pressure from the public will cause a shift. They'll do what is required to survive, and so far they haven't had to pay big enough price to change things. But when that time comes, oh, they'll change. They'll change. So thank you so much for your comment. Let me see. Baron, we must remember to post as many of the Queen Diana's photos as possible. Willie is a real traitor to Queen Diana. Karma Willie will for you for sure get you. Yeah, Anfu, absolutely. Absolutely. I told you guys I want to go on TikTok and I want to do more shorts. And hopefully now that I have the new PC, it'll be easier to do that because I want to take the story. I'll just say the story. It's going to say the battle, but I want to take the fight to the hearts and minds of the people on TikTok. This longer format is cool for us, but for other people, you know, especially younger people, the people that can make a difference in the future, they need to have a story encapsulated in a way that is short, sweet, and to the point. And that's where the TikTok comes in. So I'm hoping to do some of that in the future. We'll see though. Thank you so much for your comment. All right. So I'm like way behind with the chats here. I'm going to scroll because I've been holding it back. Uh, Cynthia Ashton, stop reading my mind. Hi, Baron. Yes, that institution is an occult system. Maybe the coronation is the execution of justice on the corruption of the firm. Something's going to, I mean, something's going, what is that? A run after it's something coming for you. Wait for it. All right. Well, we'll see, Cynthia Ashton, but you had me with a cult, I promise you. I saw that. I'm like, stop the car. Therese says Jack Brooksbank in 2022, he began working in marketing, sales, and promotion for property developer Michael Meldman, Discovery Land Company in Portugal. Why belittle Sussex supporters? I'm not belittling him, but he's a what is he? He's a bartender, and I like Jack Brooksbank. So I mean, he's a nice guy, and he always has that big smile on his face, and he just don't want no trouble. I like Jack Brooksbank. Let me see here. No, you know what? I haven't seen anything else about the note. As a matter of fact, so weird. I haven't even checked Dr. Shola today. So yeah, and that is something I usually do is I check out Dr. Shola, but nope, I have not seen anything about that. Let me see. I'm gonna go to her Twitter very fast and see if there's anything there. Oh, she's talking about the party gate. Uh, and what is this? Okay, listen, you guys. Well, Dr. Shola posted that. Dr. Shola says Pierce Morgan demanding evidence of his racist tirades against Meghan Markle is caucasity on steroids. Mr. Arbiter of what is racism, who uses his white privilege and global platform to aggravate racist, sexist, misogynist attacks against her, accuses Mr. Ernest Owens of no evidence. And that is what Dr. Shola said about that exchange, which is why we love Dr. Shola. Oh, thank you, Lydia. I would have totally missed that had you not mentioned her name, but fortunately you did, and I was able to see that. So let's see here. Ann Fu says, Baron, the children are already in the pot without withholding the titles. Oh yeah, you're right about that. From the children is bringing the children into it. Well, I mean, Ann Fu, he's not acknowledging the titles. The children are prince and princess. I said that a long time ago. Charles would have to actively, he would have to actively remove the titles. So he's having the best of both worlds by not saying anything. As long as they do not mention the titles officially in any royal capacity, it leaves it open to interpretation. My interpretation is, according to the George Fifth Convention, that the children are prince and princess as soon as the queen took her last breath, right? That is the way it goes. The fact that Charles has not acknowledged it doesn't mean that it's not so. Like, for instance, Lily was born, eighth in line to the throne? Now, what is she, seven? Lily was already in line to the throne when she was born, but it took them forever to change it officially and even recognize her birth, let alone, well, what did they call her? Actually, I forgot what it was. But on the royal website or whatever, they did not mention her as something, but and then eventually they did. So Charles is just dragging and not saying anything because of his hostility for Harry. However, what's left of the Commonwealth is hanging in the balance, and that is just one more thing that would count against them if he decides to take the titles away. But Parliament would have to do that. They would have to introduce a bill. I believe that's how it goes, and that they would have to take the titles from the children, which, with the Tory-led government is not impossible. But right now, that is Prince Archie and Princess Lily. Whatever they do or don't say does not change that. Charles would have to circumvent the situation. Kicking someone out of a property like that is one thing. And if Harry wanted to go to court about it, he could. Harry would have a good court case, but I don't think he cares enough to even bother with it since they're barely there. But they did pay a lot of money, and there is a case to be had. And who knows? We might hear one day, they either want their money or they want the house. So this is still fresh. And then, of course, there's reports that they've known about this since January. But we'll get to that later. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, I need to step it up because I am getting behind. It's almost been an hour, and I have barely progressed. I have barely progressed. No sound. No sound? Oh, you guys couldn't hear Hoghead? What? Oh, no. You guys couldn't hear Hoghead. Oh, no. I'm sorry about that. Oh, so nobody could hear it, huh? Wow. I didn't realize. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, you had sound. Okay, so some people didn't. Okay. Well, anyway, I won't do that one again. All right, but thank you so much. And Connie Balmer says she can hear. All right. All right. Okay, so let me move on. That didn't work out the way I thought it did. So here you go. If you want to present an eviction notice or a symbolic eviction notice, how about this? Not my king, Neiman Marcus. So I believe all of this is just a distraction from what's coming down the pike. If things go terribly wrong, when the coronation comes along, they want to be able to blame the Sussexes. But whether that does or does not happen is Charles is not popular. He's not the country's grandma. He's not the country's grandfather. He is that same moody, brooding, mean spirited person that he's always been. And people are never going to look at him any differently. Monarchy costs the UK £345 million a year, enough to pay for 13,000 NHS nurses. So when Charles is walking down the aisle of the Westminster Abbey, as he's passing through the nave and all that stuff, just remember that $100 million. Well, let me see. That's about a third of that price. So I would say that could probably afford some, I don't know, maybe 5,000 nurses added to the NHS. But instead, they're going to spend that money on a coronation that nobody asked for. Um, the Duke of Windsor, he didn't have a coronation. There's no rule that you just have to have one. It's a nice tradition, but he's already king. So Harry and Meghan are not about to leave Frogmore Cottage. The king had decided to evict them in January after the publication of the Duke's memoir, Spare. What am I saying? Not about. So Harry and Meghan are okay about leaving Frogmore Cottage. They are okay with leaving Frogmore Cottage. Sorry about that. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are okay about the King's decision to evict them from Frogmore Cottage. The Times can reveal they are not stunned at the request for them to leave their UK home and believe that if we need to move out, we will get ourselves out. The couple's reaction is in sharp contrast to reports that have claimed that they were shocked at being given notice to quit their home near Windsor Castle. It might also affect the chances of whether they decide to accept an invitation to the coronation. Until now, the assumption has been that they were upset about being told to move out and they would be unlikely to attend the ceremony at Westminster Abbey on May 6th. If they are less put out by their eviction than it has been portrayed so far, it remains a possibility that one or both of them might attend. A source close to the couple said, "Oh, sorry about that. The world seems to be more distraught over it than they have been." And I think that's true. I think the whole world, well, not the whole world, but I think there's a lot of people that have been upset about this. But it says here in the Times that they have known about this since January. I believe that that's probably true. I believe that when the book came out, they were likely bracing themselves for some type of backlash. And the idea that they would want them to leave the Frogmore Cottage, and of course, the idea that his brother went through all that trouble to move his family, so they say, into the Adelaide Cottage, with all of that going on, then chances are that they will not be surprised that, and they might even be quietly relieved. They may be quietly relieved that somebody has made up their minds for them. But it was just a place to visit. It wasn't really home anymore, especially when William moves down the street. Now, I bet if they were going to the coronation, then it would have been lovely to have that as a backdrop for a birthday party. But um, home is in California, not the Frogmore Cottage. So whether they have a party there or someplace else, it really doesn't matter. They can just get on with it. I don't think that it really makes that big of a difference. This is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors to cover up for whatever it is that they don't want us to focus on. So um, I say fret not. Fret not. They are going to be okay. Also, let's see. Charlotte B. Welcome, Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte says, wait, where did Charlotte go? Oh, there we go. Charlotte says, tout como tris que Diana de surplus la pour les femmes et c'est uh, little Archie, petite infant Archie, and Lilibet Diana. See, my French is off the charts now. Thank you so much. And Lorna Williams, thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex for 10 months of membership. Thank you very much. Baron, that picture of Frogmore House, not cottage. Oh, you know what? This was from, that actually is, I think that's Royal Lodge, right? But anyway, that's what they had in the magazine article. I didn't put that there. I think that this is supposed to be a reference to, what's that guy's name? Andrew. But no, this is how I took it off of there. I mean, I certainly know what Frogmore looks like. And that is the screenshot that I took from the article. So I don't know if they got it wrong or if they were referencing Andrew in some way, but this is the cottage. Notice the chimneys are not painted. Here, it looks like they have painted the chimneys. So, and that's a much larger structure. So I believe that that is Royal Lodge, I think. Okay, let me see here. So thank you, Charlotte. Merci beaucoup. Bonsoir. Arrivederci. Bonasera. Okay, let me keep this moving here. Buonasera, señorita. Buonasera. Da 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 da. Okay. Daily Mail announces redundancy plan as print readership declines. Editor Ted Verity said newspaper, sister title, Mail on Sunday and Mail Online would be brought much closer together. I didn't really think that there was much of a difference between one or the other, but apparently they have a team for the online, a team for the paper, and a team for the Mail on Sunday. I really don't care. All I care about is that that old drawn up, withered tea bag has the ability to allegedly phone in briefings against the Sussexes. Hello. Hello. Is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. And of course, from the hacking and coughing, they know that that is the consort, the one that used to smoke 3 or 4 packs of unfiltered cigarettes a day, that consort, the miracle that she's still here. But of course, I just thought it was all one and the same. But they have lawsuits coming down the pike. And also, let us not forget their readership is down. They are shrinking. They are shrinking. The young people don't care for them and their news. Um, the target audience, I mean, not to sound morbid, but they're dying off. The importance of legacy television, the importance of daily newspapers, even if they have an online component, it's not that important anymore because there's so many other places where you can find news. There's so many other sources of information. Remember before the presidential election in 2016, we found out that most people were getting their news from Facebook? Huh? Well, what does that entail for Daily Mail? They should hope people are sharing their stories. They should hope people are loyally following them. I think if it wasn't for Harry and Meghan, most of us would have little or no mention of the Daily Mail. It is because of our vigorous defense that we find ourselves having to deal with them. Otherwise, I don't think we would bother. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. And Noreen Bengali, thank you so much for being a member and for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. Hey, Black Queen, did I say hi today? Hello, Black Queen. Lucy Wynn. Hello, happy Friday to you both. And then, of course, Daily Mail announces redundancy plan as print readership declines. The Daily Mail has announced plans to make some of its journalists' jobs redundant as the newspaper struggles with declining print readership and the increased cost of paper. Oh, let me see. I just got a message. Oh, really? Okay. Nope. Okay, the newspaper editor Ted Verity and his plans to lead to the staff across the print Daily Mail and sister title Mail on Sunday. The newspaper parent company Daily Mail and General Trust was taken private by his controlling shareholder, Lord Nappyhead, or Lord Rothermere, as some people refer to him, in 2022 and is now entirely owned by an offshore family trust. This is according to I think this was in the Guardian. Yeah, this was in the Guardian, I think. The newspaper group is also facing cost of legal case from notable individuals, including Prince Harry, Elton John, and Doreen Lawrence over allegations of illegal reporting tactics. Lawyers acting for the Mail's parent company have also have so far managed to avoid claims being reported in open court, although a hearing on the cases is due at the end of March. So, the end of March, expect some movement on some of these legal things. Let me see. Be that as it may, these wealthy barons run things and are tax dodger billionaires. They will figure out a way. They will figure a way out. The trust fund babies generational wealth ongoing. And what is this one here, Baron? Please play Dan Wooten one more. I mean, the one where he said that the royal family needs to stay whiter than white. Do I have that one? I don't think I have that one. If I did. It was so long ago, I wouldn't know where to find it. I do remember that one, and I don't think I have it. I think someone else may have that. But I recall when he said that they need to stay whiter than white. Talk about saying what's really on your mind. Really? The Washington Post, my local newspaper, has only 1 million subscribers for digital subscriptions. The print readership for the Washington Post is now the five-figure range for daily and Sunday newspaper. So Washington Post, isn't that owned by oh gosh, Amazon? What is his name? Well, you know, the guy from Amazon. They own the Washington Post, right? And the New York Post, that is Murdoch. Washington Post is Amazon guy, right? I think I got that right. I don't think anybody with that type of money should be able to buy a newspaper. There was a time when they had put some regulations where you could not own more than one paper or one television station in a single marketplace. I don't think that was strict enough. There is just too much I mean, they can regulate these things. There is need for regulation. They just don't have the courage to do it. But they could regulate this stuff. We don't have to just sit back and take it. What? Has anyone seen a video on Twitter where the black lady wanted to sing for the coronation? She sung the lyrics from WAP. Oh, Lucy Wan. Lucy Wan. Was there a certain point of the coronation where she was going to sing that? Was it the entrance that is? Was that for Charles's entrance, or was that for the consort's entrance into Westminster Abbey? I mean, was she going to wait until? Was she going to wait until Camilla showed up and then drop that beat? Boom, 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 boom. Woo! Drop that beat. Drop that beat. Okay. Julie Grant, thank you so much for being here. Good evening, Baron. Love your podcast. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Okay, you guys, let's clean it up a little bit here. As a matter of fact, let's have a little bit of a break beat and be prepared to see the most adorable kids ever. All right, ready? Break beat. Okay, so yesterday was International Book Day, and it made the papers. Look at there. You see the papers? I don't know which paper this is, but whatever newspaper it is, they ran the photos of some of those darling little kids dressed up like Prince Harry, red hair, beards, and of course their copy of Spare. I mean, I didn't know that that was a fancy dress party or a costume event, but now we know that some people go hairy for the International Book Day. But wait, I know I shared some of those photos, but there are some others I didn't share, like this gentleman right here. Look at this young Prince Harry. He's wearing his crown. He has on his Prince Charming uniform. And I don't know what is, I thought that was like a selfie stick, but I think it's a scepter. Does he know that you're supposed to hold it from the other end? Maybe not. But yeah, he has his scepter and everything. So very cool. And from the background, it looks like his family has some pretty posh accommodations. And then, of course, check out the one on the right, right? HRH, Prince Harry. But I love this kid on the left. This kid on the left, as soon as I looked at him, I there was a sound I heard. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. I want to be your little baby, yours and yours alone. And let me tell you, baby, I'm bad to the bone. Bad. He's just, I mean, he's everything. Every time I look at that photo, I just hear George Thorogood and the Destroyers singing bad, bad to the bone. Oh man. But you know what? I think that he's really getting into the little Harry character because as we all know, Harry was a bit of a stunt guy when he was a kid. Harry ignored pain. Harry was very bold as a child. He would take on anybody. So this kid, he's not just looking like Harry, but I think he has gotten into character big time. So cheers to him. Bad, bad to the bone. Um, oh, happy Friday to you, FK. Thank you so much for FK24. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the super sticker. I love this kid. Bad to the bone. Let's see. Shell says, wait a minute. How come none of these kids are dressed like Willie Leaks? They didn't want to shave their heads. Oh, never mind. They can't be. Is that beggars? Yeah, I'm going to say it's beggars. They can't be beggars. I don't know what it is. On the day I was born. Wait. How does that go? On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered around. Oh man, I forgot the lyrics to it. Bad. I love that song though. That's like one of my favorite songs is Bad to the Bone. I like to just like get in the car and turn the music way up. I'm gonna have to listen to that real soon. Okay, got a couple more for you guys. Bad. Now see that song is gonna get stuck in your heads all day. Bad to the bone. Okay, so these are the ones from yesterday. So if you guys recall, these are the photos I shared yesterday for International Book Day. All right, so I was hoping that Shelly L would be here, but these are the images that she promised to send. She wanted to share them. So should I wait? I should wait until she's on, right? Shelly L, are you here? Because we have those images you wanted to share. Well, anyway, I'll come back to him if she's here. But hi, Baron. This is my family on my mom's side. That's my great grandfather, Elijah, Harriet Tubman's nephew. His father was Ben. They changed their names once they got them to Canada. My great grandmother, Mary, was an indentured servant. She and Elijah fell in love. So he paid off her debt They got married. My grandmother, Hilda, is sitting next to Mary. My grandmother, older sister Bessie, used to tell us how she remembered Harriet visiting them at their house and getting into arguments with Elijah about women's rights. He wasn't having it. Anyway, just a little about my family history. Aren't these wonderful? I love old photos like that. And look at how much pride we used to have as African Americans, all dressed up and dignified, no bonnets, no pants hanging down, none of that stuff. I love this. So, Shelly L, if you watch this later, um, oh, you think I should wait? Well, I mean, it's only okay. I'll wait. It's just this, and then a few other things, but I'll wait. But that was like the only like solid photo. So okay, I'll wait. All right, so incoming, got a monster coming. A monster. There we go. Jeremy Clarkson, who wants to be a millionaire, axed by ITV after Meghan Markle row. Jeremy Clarkson, I kind of thought this was old news, but I looked at the date. I'm like, maybe not. Um, uh, let me see. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Host will come to an end after next season. ITV have confirmed. So does that mean that there's a whole other season? Oh, Shelly L, you're here. Okay, let's go back to it. Let me get rid of this monster. So Shelly L, this is your life. And so there they are. I love this photo. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. How beautiful. What a handsome family. So first row is Bessie. So Bessie, let me see. Okay. And Elijah. I love that name, Elijah. Thank you for sharing this. So, yeah, and no pants hanging down, no bonnets. That's right, Marine Reed. Look at how much dignity and pride black people used to have back in the day. I've heard stories about how my grandmother would have her kids all tucked and pinned. She would use straight pins to make sure everything fit as well as it could. And that was just the rule. And they always presented themselves ironed, hair coiffed, everything. So, oh, that scared me. That sounded familiar. Okay. And then there's this. Okay. Table of contents. Now, this is how this conversation about the family started. Shelly L said that she had had a what do you call it? A program left over from the March on Washington and was very glad to share it with us. So there it is. I'm trying to find it so I can actually see what I'm looking at here. Okay, because I saved it. Wait. Where is it? Oh, maybe I didn't save it here. Oh well. All right. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. All right. So that one says table of contents. A jail can only hold a man's body. His mind and heart remain free. The use of dogs to fight men is an act of cowardice, and only the users are degraded. Then religious and patriotic symbols are used as a shield by hate makers. Our democracy and all it stands for became a mockery. The swastika and the high pressure hoses, instruments of brutality, can never dampen the spirit of free people. We shall overcome, and in the process, assume the responsibilities as well as the rewards of citizenship. The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, Wednesday, August 28th, 1963. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wait, but there's a little bit more. There we go. And over there on the left side, you can see, let me see, what am I looking at here? Did I save that one? Yes. Okay. As I zoom in, I can see March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, August 28th, 1963. And let me see, we shall in red overcome in blue. Oh, that is a program book, I think. Right? And then let me see. That's the one on the right. The one on the left side, I can see world's best. No, okay. Not the news. The newspaper probably has something, but all right. Oh, okay. So is this like a collage that was made at the time? I think that's a collage that was made at the time. Am I right? Anyway, this is really, really nice. And it says here, we rescued this out of my grandmother's house after she passed away. At the time, she worked as MLK's personal secretary, and she also helped organize the March on Washington. What a wonderful history. What a wonderful legacy. Okay, Shelly L., you got a lot to live up to. Oh, you shouldn't have showed us this. Now we're going to expect a whole lot from you. Oh, man. So my grandmother was an Irish woman from Ireland. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Let me see here. Okay, anything else? All right, so I think we got one more. There we go. Table of contents. Oh, yeah, I did that one already. That was the very first one there. Yeah, this one right here. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Shelly L., for sharing this family history and memorabilia. I think it is absolutely wonderful. And I'm thinking that if you can, maybe get some parts of this like professionally framed, with the beveled liner and everything. I think that would be really cool. Oh, and I see an old copy of Jet magazine. Now, I got some old copies by the old name Negro Digest. Yeah, the Jet magazine was small like that because it was made kind of to resemble or should I say, maybe it was inspired by the Reader's Digest. So they used to call it the Negro Digest. But then after the Civil Rights Movement, it's began the name Jet magazine. Yeah, and so very, very cool. John H. Johnson was brilliant. Well, thank you so much for that. We already talked about the monster. Amazon likely to part ways with Jeremy Clarkson. Let's hope that that is true. And there they are, the three amigos hanging out. Hoghead Pierce Morgan, Buffalo Head Jeremy Clarkson, and Booty Chin, old Booty Chin. What's his name there? Oh, thank you for sharing. Thank you. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. Booty Chin. What's his name? Murdoch. Murdoch. Another Murdoch. Murdoch acknowledges Fox News host endorsed election fraud falsehood. Well, in case you guys don't know what this is all about, especially people that are not from the US, let's start right here. Rupert Murdoch, the conservative media mogul, spoke under oath last month in the $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox News by Dominion Voting System. Mr. Murdoch remarks, which he made last month as part of Dominion's $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox and, let me see, what is that? Fox added to the evidence that Dominion has accumulated as it tries to prove its central allegation The people running the country's most popular news network knew Mr. Trump's claim for voter fraud in 2020 election were false, but broadcast them anyway in a reckless pursuit of ratings and profits. So let me give you the long and the short of this. Dominion was blamed because they provide equipment for elections. They provide the voting machines. However, the counties that were in question did not even use Dominion machines. And there was no evidence that anyone has ever won or lost an election because of machines. Just because you can hack a computer, the computer is attached to the internet. The voting machines, I don't believe that they are attached to any Wi-Fi or any uh, web or anything like that. They are simply machines that are calibrated, that are tested by the election officials, and then on election day, those machines are locked up and they're dropped off. The judges of elections monitor those machines. I know this because I've been an election judge before. Once you're done voting, they take the information from the machine and they hand it over to the central drop off. It is all very open. There are Republican judges of elections and there are Democrat judges of election that are paid to sit there for up to 12 hours or more to monitor the election. And the ballots are private. So, this idea that there was fraud is way off base. And the idea that Dominion had anything to do with those counties that were in question were ridiculous because there are other companies that also provide equipment. The reason why I put that photo there of all these different machines is so that you can see that there are various types of machines that are used around the country. There's no one anything. Every county has their own election officials. Every state has their own election officials. And these machines have been approved by Democrats or Republicans. And the places where they tried to say there was fraud was actually governed by Republican election officials. So not only is it a false allegation against Dominion, but also they are saying that their own party. I mean, this is so bad because the election officials, their lives have been threatened, and Fox News didn't seem to care. The stock for the company, Dominion, suffered. The confidence in their product suffered, and Fox News didn't care. They were getting these big ratings by perpetuating the lie that came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Tucker Carlson, all of them at Fox News, they either did not push back against the lie or they were right along for the ride. But either way, Fox News is in a lot of trouble. And this may lead to certain laws or regulations that will do something that needed to be done a long time ago, and that is to rein in the powers of these um, media giants like Murdoch's Associated Press. So that's it, you guys. This is the reason why Fox is in trouble, is because they lied about Dominion. Dominion became the bad guy, the fall guy. They were the ones that were blamed for the election. They were accused of being in cahoots with the Democrats. None of that was true. It was a big lie. So, a big lie from a big booty chin, big head company New this old fossilized relic of anyway. Bye, girl. Bye. All the news that's fit to print. New York Times, and that's the way it is. CBS. Democracy dies in the darkness. Washington Post. And what does Fox News say? You can't handle the truth. I mean, it's just, I mean, this is like someone's idea, but you get the point. The other news organizations are about integrity, but it's Fox News that acts like they're in a movie. You can't handle the truth. You want to, they don't have the truth. It's not you can't handle the truth, it's we don't tell the truth. That's what it really should say. Outrage. King Charles evicted Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage after wicked stepmother Camilla claims. Well, check this out, you guys. Now, this has been going around, and I wanted to make sure that this was a real thing. It is real. From 1994, the Prince of Wine keeps on whining and whining and whining. You know, here in the US, we don't say whinge, we say whine. Um, Britain's most famous dysfunctional family, mind you, 1994, is in the news again, this time because Prince Charles publicly blamed his father, Prince Philip, for his lonely, unhappy childhood and for forcing him into a loveless marriage with Princess Diana. At least the Brits have finally found a use for a hapless Prince of Wales beyond cutting ribbons. He's selling newspapers and books at a profitable clip and giving the publications something to talk about besides dreary economic woes. Well, isn't this everything that they have accused Prince Harry of? Huh? Isn't this what Prince Harry has been accused of? And right there in print, you have that whining Prince Charles. The article goes on to say Charles' newest tell all confession excerpts from new book to be published next month have been filling the front pages of most British newspapers. The authorized biography by journalist Jonathan Dimbleby, titled The Prince of Wales, draws on interviews with Charles, who made available diaries and 10,000 of his letters. 10,000 letters. Did you hear that? It was checked by his office for facts. Charles' book closely follows Princess in Love, which reports Diana had a 5-year affair with an army major. Another book about the Princess of Wales is due shortly. Remember, this is 1994. His father bullied him as a child, treated him with mocking banter, thought him a bit of a wimp, and preferred his spunky sister. Charles whines he was sent to school at Gordonston, where everyone picked on him, and he was horribly unhappy. His mother was too busy being queen to help the poor baby. At age 32, he let his father insist he marry Diana or end their relationship, so he chose marriage in a confused and anxious state of mind and seems to have regretted it from the start. The poor guy. I mean, this is literally what the article says: the poor baby, the poor guy. The Chicago Tribune did not care. This was 1994, and they did not care. Let me continue. The drip, drip, drip of Charles said, and what Diana said, and what he did, and what she did, and his affair and her affair are eroding public support for the monarchy. Some British editorial writers, columnists, and politicians are saying, but Prince Philip, while not denying Charles's charges, told a British newspaper the monarchy had existed for the last 1,000 years. If it's lasted that long, it can all I mean, it can all be bad. Charles is apparently counting on becoming king. Diana's lawyers and his lawyers issued a joint statement a few days ago denying press reports that the couple would get a divorce next year, but speculations persist that Charles is trying to whip public sentiment around to change the rules so he can divorce, remarry, and take the throne with a woman he seems to have loved all along. Now, this is 1994. Let me say that again. This is 1994. So they denied that he was going to get a divorce in 94. By 96 they were divorced, right? Or was it 95? And of course we all know what happened in 97. But the ploy isn't working. The play for public sympathy is backfiring. The public may relish personal confessions on TV talk shows, but they want something a bit nobler from Buckingham Palace. Someone should also be concerned about the effects of this mess on the Waleses' preteen sons, Harry and William. Oh, I love that. They put Harry first. Their preteen sons, Harry and William, who is supposed to inherit his father's title someday. The British royals are basically museum pieces, historic artifacts with some attractions for tourists and not much else. The monarch is, the monarch's legal duties are minimal, largely of formalities and easily eliminated. Their vast personal wealth could vanish with a few changes in the tax code. That's what happened to the delicious book, The Queen and I, by Sue Townsend, newly published paperback. It should give Charles and all the royals nightmares and their subjects something to think about while they are laughing. In the novel, the royal family wakes up one morning to find former union leaders has elected prime minister on a platform of ending the monarchy. He does just that. It sends the useless royals with no job skills off to live on welfare in public row housing in a project. Well, we all know over there they call them council housing, but over here we call them projects. So each of the families get a tiny two-bedroom semi-detached unit that stinks of neglect and damp, is semi-warmed by gas heaters, and must be fed with scarce coins and shared and is shared with cockroaches. Well, that sounds just like the Frogmore Cottage, doesn't it? We've let me see. We've had bloody cigars bigger than this. Wales Prince Philip. As cultural shocks sink in, the Queen Mother, oh wow, she's still alive at the time, gamely pronounced her bungalow adorable, but adds, it could be a kennel for a large dog. Okay, so anyway, it goes on to talk about this book. It sounds like a fun book, but anyway, that was it about Charles. But I'll give you the very end right here. It says, but it's not all grim. The social worker comes by to tell the Queen Mother she is eligible for Meals on Wheels, and Charles that the National Health will probably pay to have his ears fixed because they may be physically damaging him. I love this. So that was 1994, and that was the Chicago Tribune, and they could give no F's. Okay, they, Compton Caligal. It is okay. You know they have subscriptions, but I will see if I can do that. Let me try this. Let me try this. If I can't do it here, I will try to share it on Twitter. But let me go. Let me see here. Anyway, I love that article. Let me try to put it in the community tab and see what happens. Uh, Nope, that's not it. That is not it. Oh, you know what? Of course that didn't work. There's yeah, that should not have worked. Let me try it again. Let me try it again. I put the wrong thing. Go to community, take that away, delete that, and let me see if I can put a link for this one. But it is a paid subscription, so I'm not sure it's going to work for you guys. But, it does work. It does work. So if you go to the community tab, it will say, the Prince of Wine keeps on whining. So let me try that again. I'm going to go back, and this time I'll add the photo to it so you can easily recognize it. There we go. But yeah, when they shared this on the oh, you know what? I guess I don't need to do that. Yeah, I guess I don't need to do that. Okay, I think that worked, you guys. I really do think that worked. But yeah, and you can find it there. But I love that article. It's amazing. It's amazing how everything that they accused Harry of is right there. Um, is right there in that article. Okay, if that doesn't work, I'll try to do it another way. But I do think it's there. Um, Let me do this, and I'll try to put a photo with it later. Okay. Did that work? Okay. Oh, wait. Nope, that didn't work. All right. So the link is there, but I'll fix it later. All right. No problem. No problem. All right. Let me get back over here. But isn't it interesting how familiar all of that sounds? Yeah, Charles kicked his own son out of Frogmore Cottage over his side piece. That is so true. Hello, Hidden Beauty. Okay, so right here we have oh yeah, this check it out. Good Morning America. Good Morning America talked about this today. I mean, this is big news. This is huge. Big Morning America. I mean, big morning. Good Morning America. Big more. I keep saying Big Morning America. Good Morning America talked about this big story about nobody wants to fool with Charles for the coronation. I love it. And that's all I have to say about it is now they're talking about it on Good Morning America. And then there's this Helen Pankhurst. How Meghan has been treated is sad. The great granddaughter of suffragette Emmeline Pankhurst has described the treatment of the Duchess of Sussex as sad. Dr. Helen Pankhurst, CBE, told the what is that, PA? I don't know what newspaper that is. The PA news agency. People are so uncomfortable still with a woman standing up for herself, not just smiling. So this I could not get any further into it because otherwise I would have had to have gotten a subscription. But it's in the Independent, and I tried to find more of the text for it, but I couldn't. So that was all I had. So if you guys can find it, I'd like to know that too. Charles was 45 when this Chicago Tribune article was published. He turned 46 the next month on November 14th. Wow. Oh, were you able to see it? Were you able to find it? If so, I'm happy. But yeah, I'll fix it up so it'll be easier to find it. I could not find any photo with the article, so I added that photo that you saw earlier. I added this photo myself, and also I added the picture of the book. So of course he's not 45 in that photo. Why does his mouth look so juicy? I mean, is that lip gloss? Is Charles wearing lip gloss? It looks like he's wearing like some kind of cherry lip gloss. Ugh. That's all I need to see is some old man wearing some cherry lip gloss. What kind of weirdo is he wearing cherry lip gloss? I mean, I'm sure it's not, but you know they put makeup on him to try to make him look more pleasant. Um, but yeah. So there is Emmeline Pankhurst right there. She loves a crowd, doesn't she? She knows how to work a room. And this story I saw today, well, finally, he is getting the honor that he has deserved for over 50 years. And when I say he, Washington, well, not Washington, but nearly 60 years, wow, nearly 60 years after he was recommended for the nation's highest military honor, retired Colonel Paris Davis, one of the first Black officers to lead a special force team in combat, received the Medal of Honor on Friday for his bravery in Vietnam War. At a crowded White House ceremony, Davis emphasized the positive of the honor rather than negative of the delay, saying, "It is in the best interest of America that we do things like this." Thanking President Joe Biden, who draped the ribbon with the medal around his neck, he said, "God bless you. God bless all. God bless America." The belated recognition for the 83-year-old Virginian resident came after the recommendation for his medal was lost, resubmitted, and then lost again. It wasn't until 2016, half a century after Davis risked his life to save some of his men under fire, that advocates painstakingly recreated and resubmitted the paperwork. All that time, all that time. So there you have it. Colonel Paris Davis, one of the first Black officers in the Army's Special Forces to receive Medal of Honor. Award of Valor during Vietnam War comes nearly 60 years after Colonel Davis was first nominated. So, and there he is down there with Ted Kennedy. I had to try to find some photos of him younger, and I found at least two. So you guys can get a look at him back in his prime when he was out there in the trenches, so to speak. So, very, very cool. I love stories like this. And look at how proud he looks. You know what? I got to stop because I'm about to get choked up. I'm about to get choked up, and I am so happy for him. And also, this was the last thing. Was this last? Yeah, that was last. It turns out that Joseph Robinette Biden may not go to the coronation. And the reason why he may not go, even though he had a very cordial relationship with that old lady there on the left, is because of the one on the right, a feisty Irish woman who has no use for those reptilian, blue blooded, colonizing, um, uh, uh, let me think of some more adjectives. Anyway, she had no use for them. I do believe that if she could have caught the queen alone, that things might have gotten messy. So that is not Sophia Petrillo. That is Joe Biden's mama, and she has no use for the English. And in particular, she told him, "Don't you ever bow to that queen." She hated the royal family. So I think it's just fitting that Joseph Biden do not go to the coronation. It is not the right look for an American president. We walked away from that over 200 years ago. And yeah, over 250 years ago, right? So, yeah, no deal. All right. And with that, you guys, I am done within 2 hours. I can't believe it. So, thank you very much. Love you guys. Happy Friday. Thank you again, Shelly L., for the memorabilia. And thank you all for your generous donations and, of course, the cash apps. Along with that, the super chats, the super stickers. This has not been a Mark Goodson or Bill Totson production. No animals were maimed or injured throughout this Royal Sussex, not even farm animals, none of that. And what else? I guess that's it. So, go ahead and get your last conversation in so we can say farewell to one another. Oh, really? Oh, by the way, you guys, don't forget to sign. Did I miss anything? Wait a minute. Did I miss something? Did I skip something? I meant to. Anyway, I signed up for that thing tomorrow. The thing. I signed up for Harry and that guy, Doctor something. I don't know what his name is, but I did sign up for that. So I got a free spare book on the way. Don't know what I'll do with it, but I'm certainly not going to. I'm going to find someone to give it to. I will, because I have one already. So I'm going to have to find someone to give it to. Don't email me just yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to give it away online. Although I might, but that means I would have to mail it out, doesn't it? I think I should, though, shouldn't I? Let me think about it. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get the book, but let me think about it, and maybe I'll do a giveaway. But yeah, that's a possibility. Okay. Okay. Deborah Bowen said, you live in a gilded cage where they're not allowed to work, and when they do, they try to step out to work. They are condemned. Remember the cousin that did the commercials in China about milk? They roasted him. Yes, that I do recall that. That was it Peter Phillips? It was Zara's brother, right? I do recall that. And yeah, and they did eviscerate him for that. Thank you, TRC Rugs, for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. And with that, of course, always our queens, our queen of hearts, and our queen of everything, Doria and Diana. And of course, the Sussexes, right? Bad to the bone, bad, bad, woo, bad to the bone. Okay. And let me see here. Okay, you guys, we're good. And I got to work on another opening since I have a computer. I got to do another opening. Maybe I'll surprise you guys. You won't think about it, and then all of a sudden it'll be there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right, good day today. I am happy. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, I know. I'm just looking. That's what I'm looking for. The last word of the day. Something to. Oh, there we go. Kim Peaches says, good night, all. Blessings for Friday night. I'm ready for a cocktail. There you go. That is our last word. Ready for a cocktail. And with that, I'm going to bid a fond farewell. Thank you so much, moderators, for keeping this such a wonderful, safe space. Um, I don't know how I got so lucky, but I feel very, very fortunate for the moderators. Thank you, Patty Askew. Yes, see you tomorrow. Uh, Sussex Love, see you tomorrow. Let me see. Alicia Sykes says, enjoy you, Bear. Remember that is no longer a barn animal. It's Satan's sister. Yes, that is Satan's sister. Cal Miller. Let me see here. All right, so 2 hours, 2 minutes. Oh, that's a record for this week anyway. And good night, you guys. Let me find the Ginger Avenger, and I will see you all tomorrow. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess not. There we go. Sources or a fortune to rebrand their relationship to own feelings being That's it for now. Please like,